I want to talk about the idea of emotional reactivity and some of the kind of philosophical implications of the idea of reactivity. So, reactivity is basically acting in a way that comes out of conditioning, that comes out of trauma in the past. It could come out of something the opposite of trauma, like you're spoiled and you get reactive when you don't get what you want. So the idea of reactivity is that we have these kind of unnatural things programmed into us, or that we programmed into ourselves, that make us behave in a way that we wouldn't actually behave otherwise. But the idea of reactivity, and this is where it gets a little philosophical, and I find most people don't go there, is it depends on a kind of belief in an ideal self. So the idea that some of your actions and reactions are reactive means they're not really authentic to who you truly are, and I believe that's true. But, well, imagine if somebody would say, there is no ideal, pure self. You are just your reactions. You are how you behave. You are what you do. And that's it. If you want to be a different person, just behave differently. You are not compelled because of past events to behave in any certain way. Well, that would be the other idea. And warning, we are subject to kitten attacks here. I'm sitting on a chair that is accessible to my new little kitten, and he's just climbed up on my leg, so gratuitous cuteness alert. Look in the camera. This is Munchkie. He is non-reactive. He is his ideal self, as you can see. Completely unsullied by trauma and all of that. Just pure playfulness and love. So this is the natural state that we're all trying to return to. Correct, Munchkie? Okay, now you go down. Go attack your cousin. And so anyway, thank you for putting up with my little kitty thing. Here he comes back. So is there an ideal self? Is there this self that you would have been if all that shit didn't go down and mess you up? Now, people will say, like I could say, or could have more in the past, I can't deal with somebody yelling at me because my mom used to yell at me all the time, right? So I'm reactive to being yelled at. Not that anybody really loves it, right? But I had a lot more extra reactivity, and I still probably do have a lot. It wouldn't freak me out as much after doing a lot of work, but it's definitely not a preference, and I'm definitely more reactive to it than somebody who hadn't been yelled at so much and viciously and whatever their whole childhood. And so there's a reactive pattern. And the reactive pattern, in a way, comes down to, I don't want to feel a certain thing. So I'm going to act up. I'm going to freeze. I'm going to go quiet. I'm going to yell and scream. I'm going to physically lash out, whatever. I'm going to say mean, evil things. There are an endless number of types of reactivity. And so the thing is, what is this ideal self that's waiting in the wings, all perfect and everything? That is something I would call your core frequency. And your core frequency would be the mixture of your soul, your eternal non-physical energy, and the energy of the body that you're inhabiting for this lifetime. The body with its various attributes, like some bodies are more prone to addiction, alcoholism, things like that. Other bodies are more hyperactive, need to move a lot. Other bodies are more comfortable being sedentary. So it's in my mind, it's not that we have this perfect soul and we're supposed to be that. It's that we have a core frequency, which is a mix between the soul and the body. And that core frequency then would change with every lifetime because the body changes. So the soul part wouldn't change, but the body part would change. Sometimes you're not a human. Sometimes you're an alien or an animal, something like that. Sorry about that. Part of the kitty attack situation down there by my foot. I'm being bit right now as I speak. Gently, kitten style. So the core frequency is the ideal state of non-reactivity. It's also the kind of, it encompasses the life purpose, the talents that we were born with. And so what I'm trying to do in my healing sessions, my hypnosis sessions, my intuitive consulting work, all the magical stuff I do with my clients, is to release the reactivity and to unleash the core frequency, to get the person aligned with their life purpose so that they can be in that groove, to be in that flow state that happens when you are aligned with your talents, with all your abilities, with your desires. And that is a very excited, motivated state. And it's not spending all this excess energy on reactivity. Because reactivity is a way that we kind of go out of control when we resist our emotions. Over long periods of time, we resist our emotions, and then we end up being stuck. And we're stuck, but the universe is always trying to help us evolve by sending things to get us unstuck. And those are the things that trigger our reactivity. So in healing work, it's really good to go after the reactivity because it actually leads you back to the source of the reactivity, and once it's cleared, it leads you back to the core frequency. So think of the ways that you react that you wish you didn't. Start pondering those things. And if you look at some of my other videos about emotional healing, there are a lot of things that you can do yourself, just following what I describe in the videos. But also, I could help you out with this, with clearing this reactivity. I can do that with phone sessions, with no matter where you are in the world. And if you happen to be in Southern California, we could meet up in person and clear some of this reactivity. The great thing is that when you do clear the reactivity, you do reveal that core frequency, that self that you were born to be. But realize the reactivity isn't so much a mistake as kind of it's weights that you lift to make you stronger. The things that so-called went wrong in childhood, the traumas and all of that, they can be very useful because they've strengthened you in many ways. And one way is to know what you want and what you don't want. So the one thing to not do with reactivity, though, is to just repress it. Because emotional repression, suppression never works. It always just leads to things getting a little more intense over time, a lot more intense. And emotions that are not processed, eventually, if you do live long enough, will become physical illness or disease. So it's worthwhile to clear that reactivity. Right, Munchkie? He agrees. Thanks for watching. If you want more information on my work, go to andysway.com. If you want to set up a session, email me at andysway@yahoo.com. Thanks for watching. Bye.